Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. It's nearly February, so let's go and have a look at what I'm planning to read. So for this second month of 2024, I've actually got quite a stacked TBR, especially considering I might have something that's carried over from January, depending on how my reading goes over the next few days. But I've got a couple of sci-fi picks and a few arcs on this list as well, so let's go and have a look and see what's in store. So first of all, as with last year, or at least the tail end of last year, I've got a sci-fi buddy read going on with my friend Nina. So for February, we're looking at reading book 2 in Adrian Tchaikovsky's Final Architecture. This is Eyes of the Void. So this is going to be an audiobook pick. I quite enjoyed the audio of Shards of Earth, book 1 in this series. The narrator, I thought, did a pretty good job at getting into character for several of the main cast, so I'm quite looking forward to continuing this one, seeing where the story goes. I have no real idea what to expect. Again, this is one that I've not read the synopsis for whatsoever. It's not something that I've needed to do. Generally, that will only be something that I'll do for book 1 in the series, and then after that I'm leaving it down to surprise, basically, and finding out where the series is going to go. So yeah, no idea what to expect from this one, but I did enjoy book 1. It was one that I thought maybe took a little while to get into, with quite a large cast of characters, quite a lot going on. There were a few bits where we jumped back and had kind of a flashback, I guess, to introduce certain elements that were just coming into play in the story. So I'm not sure if that's going to continue with book 2 and then obviously into book 3, which will be on the plan for next month. So kicking off the plan with an Adrian Tchaikovsky audiobook, I've then got another audiobook which was picked by one of my patrons, Arlena, and she selected for me Unbound by Michael R. Miller. So this is another second book in a series. This is Songs of Chaos. I rather enjoyed the audiobook for Ascendant, book 1 in this series. It's another kind of typical boy and his dragon rider kind of story, but there is a bit of a difference in here in that we've got a blind dragon, as you can tell potentially on the cover there. Again, this is one that I'm excited to see where it goes, bearing in mind where book 2 finished off. It's another chunker. There's another 600 or so pages to this one, which I'm going to be doing in audio form, so hopefully I'll have enough listening time in the month to get both of these audiobooks done. I've also got some additional pages that Arlena has added to my reading plan for February, so thanks very much for that one. But I have this novella by Michael R. Miller. This is Last Stand of the Stonefist. There's actually 2 in here. It's a couple of 100 pages long. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do both novellas back to back. I will do the second one at some point. But that one is called The Huntress, and it's from Michael R. Miller's other series, Dragon's Blade. This one, though, Last Stand of the Stonefist, is best read before Unbound. So I'm going to get this one done. Depending on, again, how my reading goes in January, the last few days, I might try and get this one done early because it is only short, and get it done in January. But this one is about Brode, who is from the Songs of Chaos series. Brode grew up a bastard in Aphra, looked down upon as a child of chaos. Sent away to the Dragon Riders as a squire, Brode counted it his luckiest day when Silas Brightbark of Coden vouched for him to join their ranks. Now a champion of the Order, he faces the largest incursion the world has ever seen. Sent on a far-flung mission to the disputed lands, Brode and Silas discover a remote town not on any map. It's a town of outcasts, of broken people, of folk that Order has forgotten. As a scourge swarm gathers nearby, Brode and Silas face the toughest fight and decision of their lives. So my friend Craig, who's got a new booktube channel actually, which I'll link below, go check it out, I do recommend it. He's read this one and really enjoyed it, and I hope that I'm gonna really enjoy it as well. So then I'll move on to the review copies, and I'm going to start off with another Adrian Tchaikovsky. So a few of us in my Discord channel have got a copy of Alien Clay, and we're going to do a buddy read of it in February before it comes out on the 28th of March. This is one that the author read the first chapter of in a recent convention. I can't remember which one it was, FantasyCon maybe, and a bunch of people there who I know and chat to really enjoyed it, said it sounded really great, and were really excited to continue with it. This is one I was already excited to get to, so I'm glad to have a copy to enable me to do so. Welcome to Kiln, a harsh and unforgiving world, home to the tyrannical mandate regime's prison colony. But the planet holds another secret. Humanity is not the first intelligent life to set foot there. In the midst of a ravenous, chaotic ecosystem are the ruins of an ancient civilization. But who were the builders and where did they go? For inmates such as ecologist and political dissident Professor Arten Dugdev, the journey to Kiln is a one-way trip. But if he can survive both the harsh rule of the camp commandant and the alien horrors of the world around him, Arten has a chance at making history that might just transform not only the planet, but humanity itself. So, I do like Adrian Tchaikovsky's writing. I've read a lot of his work. I did flick through this one and it appears that it's in first person, and I can't think if I've read another Tchaikovsky that was written in the first person, so be interesting to see how that change in the writing style suits this particular book and how it all goes. My next review copy is one which may not normally suit me because I've heard that it's an urban fantasy, but this is The Hallows by H.L. Tinsley. I really enjoyed Holly's story in The Advent of Winter. It was one of my favourite stories in that collection, so I'm really eager to read more of her writing, and just coincidentally she contacted me and offered me a copy of The Hallows, so that fit in well for me. This one does sound really interesting actually. The Hallow Serum was once sacred to the Old Bloods, used to gain access to their lost ancestral powers. Now it's regulated and administered by the powerful Providence Company. Evolved from the echelons of the Old Church, the company exists to maintain balance between faith, science and politics. But keeping the peace between humans and Old Bloods isn't easy. Taking Hallow comes at a price. Providence Company assessor Cam must deal with backstreet bootleggers, burnt-out addicts and floating nuns who won't stay on the ground. When a string of Old Blood deaths appear to have been caused by a corrupted batch of Hallow, Cam begins to suspect all may not be as it seems. Bodies are piling up, presumably not the nuns. Someone is hiding something, and the consequences are becoming monstrous. So that does seem pretty cool. The author has got a really nice writing style that I got on well with in a short sample, admittedly, from her story in The Advent of Winter. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to this one. It comes out on the 22nd of March, so it's not too long before everyone will be able to get to it as well. And then the last review copy I've got on the list for February is one that comes out in August actually, 13th of August, but this one is The Last Shield by Cameron Johnston. As soon as I heard about this one, I was really eager to read it. So again, it's one that I've recently got a review copy of and been asked if I would I'd like to read it. So yes, I would. This one is a gender-flipped die-hard set in a mysterious castle. So with that and obviously the fantasy setting, that's something that really appeals to me. So my interest was immediately piqued. The ancient forest realm of Sunweald is bordered on two sides by far mightier nations, a precarious situation. At its centre, the Sunweald Palace is home to the Lord Regent and heir to the throne, together with numerous precious and powerful artefacts. The palace is protected by the realm's elite shields, dedicated to guarding the royal line against all foes. A group of vicious brigands called the Wildwood Reavers have been stealing arcane artefacts and smuggling them across the borders out of Sunweald. And the objects they most desire are stored in the mystical Worm Vault, hidden away deep in the bones of the earth within the walls of the palace itself. As political and religious tensions mount, Sunweald's druids prepare to enact rituals for the summer solstice, but the Wildwood Reavers and their treacherous allies have other plans. It falls to Briar, the commander of the Shields, to defend the ancient corridors and secret tunnels of the palace. The odds may be against her, but she'll see every enemy head adorning a spike, or she'll die trying. So I really like the sound of that one, and hopefully it's one that'll work really well for me and I'll have a great time with it. That's my February reading plan. Hopefully I'll be able to get to all of these. I may, as I say, have a carryover from January to add into the mix as well. Let me know in the comments down below what you're looking forward to reading in February and what you think of the plan that I've made for my reading. I'll hopefully see you in the next video sometime soon. Until then, as always though, take care of yourselves, read some good books. Bye for now.